no holds barred.
No.
This isn't perfect.
No.
Right? We've managed to somehow make it after 25 years. And sadly, we've had a lot of battle wounds to show for it. So,
But would you trade it for anything else?
fucking not a single thing,
There
dude.
you go.
Not a fucking single thing. Absolutely. I
That's the
love what I
shit.
do,
Yes.
and I'm still planning on doing it for another 25 plus
There
years.
you go.
I'm not going anywhere. This has been a hell of a hard road, but I mean, again,
Yeah.
I can just imagine what that road would be like if I took some sort of fucking accounting job or an operations job.
The world without you as a designer would not be good.
What is it?
You're listening to The Angry Designer, where we cut through the industry bull to help frustrated graphic designers survive and thrive.
Yeah. Well, my friend.
Hello, Massimo.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Oh boy, do I feel like I need this.
Yes, a little bit of a pick-me-up. bit of a grind.
This is what I need after
Yes.
2 days on a family vacation with the kids
Yes.
in Niagara Falls.
Oh.
Just, you know what?
Nice.
Just leave the cap off that bottle, dude, because it's just going to be a straight flow here. it's,
Yes.
it's pretty good.
You've earned this shit,
I earned
man.
that drink, right? Jeez, I think I was like craving it for breakfast this morning, to say the least. Needless to say, it feels good to be back. I feel like now I'm on a vacation from my
your
vacation. No, it's fine. It's all good. All right, but
Yes. Yes.
before we get too deep into this,
Yes.
I just want to say that I've been editing
Mm-hmm.
that awesome fucking interview episode.
Fuck, I can't wait.
Not saying who it is.
Oh, I can't wait.
But let me tell you, like, the whole first half is like all deep shit, life shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like actually like moving stuff to just kind of be like, this is somebody that's fucking a legend, a living legend,
Yes.
and they're human.
Yes.
And it's just so cool to and so far listening to it, you know, it's cool to listen to them. I'm not saying if it's a dude or girl, but it's kind of a guy. And it's cool to like two things that are cool. Number one, that it's like this first half, it's like it's so raw, it's so real, and it's so human that it's like, you know, we can all relate to this shit.
Totally.
Okay, crazy.
Yeah.
Whether you're young or old, we can totally relate to this. And number two, the other cool part,
Yeah.
I wasn't as drunk as I thought I was in this first half. I was a little worried that maybe I took it too far. I got a little too angry. I was listening. I was in awe, and I was just like pounding him back. And, you know, I was okay so far. So we'll see how the second half of the editing goes. But so far, so good.
That's awesome. Hey, that's
All right,
good.
so stay tuned because I think we're going to be launching this one. And we are going to be giving you guys a teaser. And next week we will let you know who it is.
Oh,
but
next
yeah, because we're getting close.
Yeah, we
But
are.
We're going to be launching it the week of September 5th, 6th, right?
Everybody's back to school.
Everybody's back to school. Everybody's back to work. Summer's done. Let's get back into shit, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Can't wait. It's going to be a good one, kids.
It will be a good one. I know, right? All right.
Okay.
Back to this shit.
Yeah, let's go.
How has it been? Because today's my first day back. You guys
Yes,
have
that's right.
actually been-
It's been good. It's been quiet. Our major clients, Q3 is over.
Yeah.
There's just stuff trickling in, but it's not, you know.
Like everybody's like,
please get
'cause
me
it seems
this
like
now.
it's good. Like I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I
it's-
came in, I was just like, wow, it's
It
like
seems good. you
I
know?
wasn't bombarded with everybody saying, I need your help, I need your help. It's like no news is good news.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Like I'm avoiding one customer right now.
Oh, no.
Because it's a pain in the ass customer. And you know, it's one of those like I've regretted taking this job. You know, and again, you always had that customer.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just nothing is ever nothing is ever their fault. Ever.
Yeah, they're-
ever their fault.
They're the Teflon client.
Dude,
Nothing
it's
sticks to them.
Dude, like it's like, and no joke, they sent me an email on Monday. I replied within an hour on Monday.
Yeah.
I didn't hear from them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh, Jesus.
And then Friday, I'm like, shit, I better send them another email.
Yeah.
So I follow up. I'm like, hey, you know what? Just following up on this on your web project, and you know, yada yada yada. You know, let me know where you want to go. Basically, recap the other meeting. You know,
Yeah.
within a minute, he replies, I can't believe it's taken you over a week to blah 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 blah, and he starts ranting in. And I'm like, is this really fucking happening? And then in the same thread, I scroll down and there is my response on Monday. And he didn't. And so literally I was like, I'm a little confused. If you scroll down in this thread, you'll see I did respond.
Yes.
And I have been waiting for
Yes.
you. Do you think he replied with a, sorry, I'm an
I'm so sorry."
asshole?
Yeah.
No. He ignored it. It's like
Are you
you
serious?
couldn't be more wrong. You were caught red fucking handed. And it's just like not even the decency to be like, sorry, dude.
Yeah,
like I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Fine.
My
Let's move on.
apologies.
No,
Yes.
he ignored it completely and just answered the questions.
Really?
I was just like, dude, like that's just man. And as a designer, that grinds you so bad.
That's the shitty part of this gig that really kind of sucks. Do you know what I mean?
Most of the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, especially, okay, granted, if you're a newbie, you make a lot of mistakes. But once you've been doing this 3, 4, 5 years,
That's it.
you don't make mistakes because you're in this, you're repeating, you've almost
Done
built
this
that
a
process.
million times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the mistakes are like generally the client's
Yes.
faults,
Yeah.
right? Honestly, it's like I don't have the patience for this bullshit. And I mean, they're lucky. This is that job. I want paid and get the hell out.
Yeah. Kill it and bill it.
You know what I mean? Like this is one of those ones where it's like, you know what? Like that's crossing. Again, I can't stand it when people don't say fucking sorry. I fucked
When
up.
clearly they're wrong. Yes.
And I did that recently. I sent a nasty email to a customer. I sent an email. I'm like, guys, this is ridiculous. I've been chasing this money now, whatever. My time is better spent. This is the last email I'm sending.
Yeah.
If I don't get this, then we're going to have to. And I was like really firm with it, right?
Yeah.
Like borderline hassle. And I'm like, I'm sorry if my tone is wrong, but enough's enough.
Yeah.
We need payment. And I don't care what the hell's going on over there.
Yeah.
After I hit send, within literally 5 minutes, within 5 minutes, bookkeeper hits us up and he's like, hey, guess what? We just got paid on our, yesterday, but I didn't check the fucking bank statement. So they paid the day before.
Really?
But I didn't get it or didn't get a response from them, right? And then of course it's like, and then I go back to my computer and there's the one girl. She's like, okay, I'm on it, whatever. Let me figure this out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had to CC all of them. And I'm like,
I'm sorry.
I totally, of course I made a joke of it, blaming my hot-tempered Italian bullshit, but I was like, I'm so sorry. I said, you know what? It's been a frustrating experience.
Yes.
But you guys did pay yesterday.
Yes.
This was uncalled for. I'm sorry. I'm a total, whatever, and I'll try to be a little bit more careful,
Yes.
right? And the CFO or the CMO was just like, you know what? I appreciate that you owned up to it.
Yeah.
Not a problem. I know it's been a frustration. He was the head guy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody else was like, oh, okay, he finally got paid.
Yes.
But the head guy was like,
Yeah.
because I admitted to that.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
then I lost my cool. And again, I'm human. I admitted to it.
And
Unlike that
that's-
dickhead. Oh, I hate those guys.
I know those guys suck. Yeah.
Well, with
don't
that
be
being,
those guys.
With that being said, I guess this episode, and it's funny, right? Because I was like, I don't know, Sean, I don't feel angry tonight. I feel fucking angry right now.
Now you're a couple of sips and now you're good to
Yeah,
go.
good story. Needless to say, our topic tonight, conveniently enough, is actually 15 lessons learned from bad clients. Because again, this is part of the industry. I mean, we cut our teeth on this shit. We can't run away from this.
That's right.
Needless to say, what we've done is we came up with an awesome list of 15 lessons that we've learned, throughout the years.
Yep.
And this is literally like going on 25 years worth of experiences, dealing with our customers. I'm dealing with, shitty customers. Because in all fairness, I can honestly say, in my opinion, like all but 2 are amazing of our customers, right? Like really, like all but 2 I think are amazing. One's a little hard to manage, 2 are maybe hard to manage, but I mean, for the most part, we're pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not going to complain.
But I think it's because a lot of the shit that we have learned over the past 25 years, we implement regularly, and it prevents people from basically crossing that line.
Yes.
I think. No?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because we represent ourselves as the professionals, as the experts.
100%.
And now I would say we're in a pretty good spot where we can say we can be a little more choosy about.
We're very
Some of
lucky.
these-
You know how good it feels to beat you? I remember having this person ask to quote something, and she was pretty demanding. She's like, listen, this is what I need. I need this done. She's calling all the shots.
Yeah.
She was telling me everything because apparently she was the expert. And I was just like, oh, this email, I'm just like, you know what, this just. So I said, you know what, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to, reluctantly decline. We're pretty busy right now, and I don't think that we can make you happy on this project. And she replied, she's like, well, it must be nice to be able to pick and choose your customers. And I replied, I'm like, I did, of course I did. I was like, we're pretty blessed. And that was it. It was kind of like, because
Awesome.
that was going to be a nightmare customer right
Yeah.
away. So
You knew this.
yeah, 100%.
Right.
Right. And
Yeah.
so it is cool when you get to a place where you can pick and choose, however we get there. And a lot of it is just being able to avoid a lot of the problems.
Right.
Right. And start getting good systems in place. So,
Well, and a lot of it too, and not to spoil the
Yeah.
the list here, but you have a keen awareness of
Yes.
because of
Yeah.
our empathetic kind of nature of what we do. We know we can
Kind of
see
suss
those
things out a little
those-
bit, right?
Those shady characters
Yeah,
out there,
right.
right?
15 lessons learned from dealing with bad clients. And what we've done is we put these in a chronological format for a typical client engagement.
Right.
Okay.
Top
so
to bottom kind
top
of
to
thing?
bottom, beginning to end.
Beginning
type
to end.
thing.
Oh,
Okay.
that's even better.
So this is beginning to end, except at the very end, that one is actually going to be number one. It's a surprise question. It's a surprise lesson. Yeah. But I didn't want to lead that one because I kind of think that one's the best one.
That's a good one.
But again, so these are in chronological order.
Yeah.
Thinking from when you start to when you finish an engagement with a customer. This way it kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yep. Totally.
All right.
Totally.
Lesson number 1. Okay. When you meet a customer to discuss a project for the very, very first time, don't assume they get it. Okay. So many times, we get caught in. So number 1, you're meeting a customer for the first time, right?
Yeah.
You're an expert. There's a good chance if they're calling on you, they're not going to know even a fraction of what we do.
Right.
But they don't want to look like morons.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want to look like they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
Generally, it's a first meeting. So they tend to be pretty agreeable. Right? And they're like, yeah, I get it. Oh, yeah, of course, I get it.
Yeah.
And you know what? They don't want to look dumb in front of you, right? And you don't want to look dumb in front of them to make it sound like you don't, because you're trying to sell yourself. You're trying to sell your services, your company, your experience, right?
Yeah.
So this is why now we always trying to make sure that we are crystal clear with everything that we're explaining.
Right.
Okay. We make sure that we're crystal clear, on what it is that we're proposing to them, and make sure that there's a sign off before we get anything forward. Right. And we make sure that they, even the terms that we use, okay, are like stupid simple. I had this honestly, I had this one customer and well, I mean, it was a customer that went south pretty bad. And this was probably around year 12. Right.
Okay.
And the guy was like, oh yeah, I had a website, and he's acting like a big shot. I had a website and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And he's going on. Right. So I need a new website, and I need it done by a professional company, which is why I'm bringing you in. I should have asked more questions.
Oh.
Because he basically said he knew everything, and I took him for it, right? And so I'm talking to him like, okay, so you know what I mean, right? About hosting and this? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean about CMS, right? We're going to get you something. Oh, yeah,
Sure.
of course. In the end, he fucking didn't know a
Nothing.
thing.
Oh.
Okay, so once we started doing work for him and we presented stuff to him and this and that, the guy just ghosted us all because it was too much for him. It was too overwhelming, and because again and afterwards he felt like an idiot, right? So it was actually it worked out against us in that case, right? So that was a lesson that we made sure. So right now it's like every time we have that customer meeting, whether they're experts and they actually do know shit, or and they've been doing this, or they're brand new, we're constantly educating them on everything, right? The importance of branding, the importance of, the logo design process, the importance of the web and their content management and what it actually is, and literally we now don't take anything for granted. And we make sure that, we don't underestimate their knowledge. We don't give them any more credit.
That's right. Yeah.
Than they deserve,
exactly.
right?
So you don't say, look, so you know this, and then say yes, and then you say, okay, well,
Okay,
just
good,
skim
then
over this.
yes.
No.
Yeah.
We just hear me out for this presentation that I'm going to make.
Exactly,
And
dude.
yeah, that's the smart way to do that.
Yeah, because then you know what? There's no surprises at the quote stage. There's no surprises later on the deliverable side.
Yeah.
We make sure that they understand right from the beginning what they get, the timelines they're dealing with, what the deliverables are. Who ends up hosting what if it's a website project, who owns the rights if it's a logo and branding. Like we make sure everything is just crystal clear with them, right?
Yes.
So and again, we don't overwhelm them.
Yeah.
But we make sure that it's like it's a good understanding.
Yeah.
All right. Lessons learned from bad clients. Number 2, never, ever discount your price once you've given it to them.
That's awesome.
Okay? Honestly, never. You obviously, as professionals, we now understand all of our costs. We understand how to bill, right? If you guys have any questions, we just did a podcast on about billing, the different types, the different ways, how to actually get to your billing standard, right? And we bill by the project now for most of these things. So, we make sure that we never what we present is what we present for a price, okay? We will ask them, and by all means, ask them if they have a budget to work in, right? 99% of the time,
Yeah.
They're going to say no. Oh, no. We don't know. We don't have a budget. They will always say that because it's like they're almost always trying to get that lowest price. Okay. And it's like, but you know what? At that point, it's not your problem after the fact if they're crying about the price.
Right.
Okay. You set your fair price for you first. Okay. You figure out what the price is for the project. Yes. You worry about your fucking needs.
That's right.
Okay. You set that price. And then afterwards, if they complain, don't entertain their sob story about,
they're gonna bitch.
Right. It's a startup, hey, it's like, dude, if there was money, if you needed me to work in a budget, you didn't give me a budget.
You would have told me
and
that.
you can politely say that you didn't give me a budget. So I quoted this job based on the best of my experience to deliver you the best possible product.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not discounting because as soon as you discount it, you will never, ever, ever be able to raise your rates.
No.
If you all of a sudden go from $75 an hour as a freelancer to $50 an hour or $40 to help them out on this first project, don't think on the next one they'll let you bill them $75, right? Because they absolutely won't. What I'd rather you do, if possible, and we have done this in the past, we've pulled back.
Right.
On the project, it's like we'd quoted a full website of 20 pages.
Yeah.
And we did talk about this. If they come back and be like, oh shit, I can only afford this much. It's like, oh, that works out to 5 pages. I'll build you a 5-page site. And when you have the rest of the money, come back and we'll gladly, we'll build you the best fucking 5-page website, but you're not getting the full 20 pages that we quoted. Right? If you have to, you can get creative with billing. If you want to, you can be like, look, you know what? If it's more than you expected, why don't we stagger this?
Yeah.
Why don't we, do it over 3 months?
Oh, yeah.
And the first month we'll deliver this. Second month, this. Third, offer that.
Yeah.
Price bracketing, right? Offer them a good, better, best package, right? But what you never, ever, ever end up doing is discounting your prices.
Yeah.
And then you'll kind of really quickly understand what their intentions truly are. If they're just looking for the cheapest price, you don't want to be that customer.
Yeah.
Never.
And in your experience, how many times are they actually looking for the cheapest price? You're like, is this common?
Well, no, I mean, on a good note.
Yeah.
So was it common in the first 15 years of business? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was. And I always told people, we're not the cheapest, but we're far from the most expensive.
Yeah.
But after about the 15-year mark, we started getting a reputation for not being the cheapest. And people stopped hassling us for it. They started, so instead of being like, oh yeah, is it factory? They do really good work.
Yeah.
They're a little pricey, but they do really good work.
Good work.
That's what came out first. They do really good work. And that was what our reputation started being and it was true. We delivered a great product at a fair price, better than, our product was equivalent to agencies 4, 5, 6 times the size of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at a fraction of the cost.
Yes.
Right. And of those guys, but we weren't competing.
But not cheap.
Yes. We're far from cheap.
Yeah.
Right. That was the big thing. But honestly, I just didn't want to work with just the people who wanted the cheapest price.
Oh, I know.
You can't compete with that.
Exactly. And to be nickeled and dimed.
Oh, dude.
For this kind of stuff.
Because
those
those
cheating yourself.
aren't the customers you want.
No.
Right?
No,
and that's
absolutely
the
not.
big thing we have to remember.
Yeah.
Those are the customers you're like, you know what? Go to fucking Fiverr.
Yeah.
Go to 99
Yes.
Designs. Go find someone online and get your little WordPress or a Wix
Do it in
site.
Squarespace or whatever. Yeah, do it your own.
Don't waste our time because you don't want to be known as the cheap. You don't want at all be known as the cheapest.
As the cheapest,
right?
yeah.
Because then you're not an expert.
Yeah.
That sucks, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So never, ever, ever discount your price, no matter how much they cry about that. All right. Right. Number 3. Okay. Once that's all been approved, okay, once they've agreed to your price, once that's all in place, you don't start working before you get a deposit. Okay. So this one has caught me many times because you get excited on a project.
Yeah, you want to do it.
You want to do it.
I know,
And
that's
again,
the worst part.
the pricing was hard always, right? Because I was like, you know what? Pricing's that necessary evil. Yeah. Don't worry. I'll send you an invoice. Let's get started.
Yeah, let's do this.
So you get excited and you overlook that, right? And then, shit happens. And we have lost, there's been points where we've lost, 20, 30, 40 hours. We've jumped into a project. Before, and then sure enough, it's like, oh, guess what? It got canceled or something else or, and then try to collect at that point. Try to collect at that point.
No, that'll never happen.
Yeah, no, it won't ever happen. And absolutely. Until that check is cashed, technically, you don't have that job. They can sign a contract, but until they give you that cash and you deposit into your bank account and it goes through, right? Technically, that job isn't even started. So, advice, if you do get excited, don't put in more time or effort than you're willing to lose.
Yes.
Okay. So again,
good.
immediately bill for it.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a hard ass, and we are now, we're like, look, you know what? We won't start working until we get paid, right? Sometimes we'll give them 5 days worth of leeway, and we'll do a lot of the discovery process and asking questions, to show a sign of good faith. But we won't lose more than a few hours until we get that, right? Absolutely.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah. That's a good way to go. Because how many times have you been stuck doing something like that and never?
Oh, dude.
It's like,
so many times. Like I said, there was that one DJ company like 15 years ago. Man, they soaked us for so much, right? Because again, I wanted that gig. I thought that they had a good rep. It turns out they were crooks.
Yeah.
Wow,
Shit.
right? Like you totally got screwed there. And it was because I got too excited for the project and I didn't take. Now, our deposits and our payment structure basically covers us at every stage.
No, that's good.
Right? And that's the way we make sure we bill stuff, like for the customers that aren't on retainers, that is, right? Yeah. So, and again, big fan of retainers. Go see the pricing episode.
Yes,
right?
Because that's the holy grail.
Right. In my opinion, it is. It absolutely
totally
is.
Totally.
But for project by project work, absolutely. We make sure that we're paid at every stage, whether it's a website, whether it's logo process, a naming project, a book of some sort, annual report, whatever it is. We're making sure that we're basically covered at every stage,
at every spot,
and we're only willing to give up what we're willing to lose. Yeah. That's it.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's
so no surprises there.
Yeah, totally. That's awesome.
All right, number 4 of lessons learned from bad clients: do not start a job without all the answers to your questions and all the pieces of the project. Okay? How many times are customers like, just start with the layout. I will get you the copy.
What am I working with?
Yeah. I will get you examples shortly. Just start, right? And again, you want to be a pleaser. And so you start, but then what happens is like all the stuff starts trickling in. Okay? And I mean, this is the worst way to work on a project, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, we've had some customers. I'd be like, well, the copy comes after the design, right? And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, if you are providing copy, I need that to base the design around.
Yes.
Right?
Is it 500 words? Is it 5,000 words?
Dude,
there's a big difference.
I actually have had customers ask us to build them an infograph, but they didn't supply us but you can just start on the idea of it's like, do you know what an infograph actually contains? Like, we need stats, we need percentages, we need dollars, we need things to pull out.
Yes.
Give us the shit.
What is the information in the infographic?
Oh, dude. Honestly, receiving work in piecemeal, it's horrible for time. Yeah. It's horrible for inspiration, for creativity, right? And again, it's just like it's like you start and you stop, you start and you stop. Yeah. And honestly, the problem is it just shows that they're not even ready for you. Yes. So they're anxious. They want to start the project, but they don't have their shit in line. And honestly, those are the projects that the scope keeps changing and changing and changing. Copy comes, but then it gets reviewed and approved a different way. Somebody else sees it. They add it. It is a nightmare to deal with, right? So literally now we ask customers, we won't even start anything until we have everything. Every image, every logo that they want. If it's other logos, copy this, that. If we're doing the copy, fine, not a problem, right? Yeah. And we'll bill for it.
And you'll bill for it. Yeah, that's right.
But I can't stand that. So that's a huge lesson learned that we will not start any project without all, the answers, all of our questions answered and all the pieces of the puzzle. Seriously.
You really can't. I mean, you're putting the cart before the horse at this point.
Right.
Yes.
Like, how do you do that?
Sense. Yeah, I know.
No. That, what, this is another whole episode of like a different list episode altogether. The crazy things customers ask for, okay? Clients will say.
Stay tuned.
All right. Number 5, lessons learned from bad clients. All right. Create a process, explain the process, and stick to the process, okay? So I don't care if it's a logo design. I don't care if it's a web project, a brochure process, right? It doesn't matter if you're a freelancer or if you're a team, right? Process helps you create a repeatable outcome over and over and over. It's not always glamorous, but it ensures that you will be able to deliver time and time again. It doesn't mean that you're going to be delivering the same boring ass project over and over.
Yeah.
But again, there's so much shit you have to collect. There's a way of going about it. In order for you to produce creativity the way you want it to, right? You've got to follow a process of some sort, right? So it's basically, think of process as like a way to, it's like a framework that you're going to create for consistency.
Yes.
And that's why, we're big fans now of everything here is processed.
Yeah.
Our logo design process is we don't even budge from that one.
Nope.
Our web design project never budge. That's our process, and we follow that thing. It shows experience, not expertise.
Yes.
And there is a difference there, right? Because again, you can be the best fucking designer in the world, but if you can't deliver, you're not good to anybody, right? You're not even worth anything, right? So at least by putting a process in place, it lets the customer know that you've done this before, and if they want a good outcome, they'll do it your way. Okay, and then B, it makes sure that you're not skipping any steps to get to your awesome process. And honestly, it starts making everything so fucking easy.
Yes.
I can say one thing. I can say 100% of the time, whenever we veer from our process, projects go sideways. Always.
Off the road.
Like, I don't understand it's like a curse. It's like a joke. It's literally, it's like a joke. When we sometimes do postmortems, when a project gets really messed up, over hours, over scope, this, that, we're like, what happened? Did they follow the process?
No.
Right. And it's true. It's just,
exactly.
Whether it's like you're just trying to be too accommodating or whether, they don't want to follow it for whatever reason, or somebody comes in at the last place. It's like, honestly, that process, it's like it's gold.
Yes.
Right? So we actually, remind people that their price, is based on them following the process. Okay. So that's a really good way to actually keep customers on target in your way of thinking, acting, doing things, right? Because you can always remind them, like, listen, you brought in somebody new at the wireframe stage, or at the creative stage of this project. If we have to go back to the wireframe page, somebody's paying for this.
You're going to get paid for that.
Because you understood the process from the start. We did this for a reason, and we quoted you based on our process. And that was, we went from A to B to C.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if all of a sudden you're going A, B, C, B, C, B, A, C.
Started
B,
A again.
Exactly, right? Then this way, it saves your ass, right? It saves, the fact that they can never be like, you blew the time. Because it's like, no.
Here, right here, it's well documented where we went off the process.
It's so true, dude. It's so true, right? And again, you don't have to be hardcore about it, but you can always remind them that, listen, if we're going back, that might change the time. It might change the budget, like for sure, because again, we had this instilled. And generally, customers are pretty good. Like the ones that respect you, right? They'll respect the process as well.
And I would think a client would love a process.
He would.
Because it's steps like X here in August or September 14th.
We're
going to have this part of this. You know what I mean? Like, so they can plan accordingly with this kind of thing. It would make sense for a client to say, yes, this process is good.
It's true, dude.
Let's do this. Let's hit these markers along the way with, whether we get this complete at this point.
At this point. Exactly, right?
This is the way to do it.
It's 100% the way to do it.
I don't understand why any client would want to veer off
and
that.
sometimes it'll be like, it'll exactly.
Yeah.
In line with this, number 6, of the lessons learned from bad clients is remind customers of the process.
Oh, you
and
thought
it's
of
funny,
everything.
dude. It's true. So often we talk about the process. Often we talk about the process, the pitch stage, right? And it is a differentiating factor from us versus other agencies, other designers, right? Other companies that might be, in the arena, trying to, chomp at the same bit we are. But then oftentimes, if you're not careful, if that's the only time you mention the process, after they sign with you, they'll forget about that process.
They don't
and
care.
shit will fucking go everywhere, right? It'll just go crazy from there because it's like, hey, you're excited, you got the job. Hey, everybody's shooting from the hip, right?
Yeah.
You don't want that. So remind them of the process throughout. And we do this by during the presentation stage, right? For example, during the logos, presentation stage, very, very beginning, before we even start with the naming convention, we're like, okay, just to remind you, and we put it out on the presentation slide. Here is our process. We explain every stage of the process, then we move on, right? Then when it comes to round 2, where we have to show them revisions, this, that, we always start with the same slide. Okay, just quick reminder, here's our process. We're now at this stage of the process.
A is done.
And then what happens is when we're in that stage, we remind them the importance of why we're doing that stage, right? For websites, start off in information architecture, then we go to the wireframes. The reason why we're in wireframes is to help with the user experience and make sure we nail down the content and where it has to go. We'll keep showing that over and over so they know the process. And it has saved us so many times, because then when somebody else comes in at the 11th hour and they're like, well, this isn't what I would have chosen.
Why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this?
Why are
it's
we
just
here?
like, well, let me go back to our process.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody else here has already been through this process and you haven't. So you've missed out on stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. So now at the creative stage, you want to come in and make all these changes.
Yes, exactly. It's like
we have a process. Right. And so, and honestly, they will forget that process. So if you just gently remind them of the importance of every stage in your process, right, as you're going through, they won't change it. They will stay locked on target. They'll respect it, and they will realize that there's a price associated with every one of those.
That's exactly it. And the best part is they will be delivered with the best product that they can
Absolutely.
possibly get.
Because again, you can guarantee that product.
This is what we do.
Exactly.
Yes. And
It's
there's
so
a
true,
process
dude.
here.
It's
And
so true.
yeah, exactly. This ain't our first rodeo.
Exactly, right? It's based on experience,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So let us lead.
Let
This
us
is
do
what we do. And if you do it our way, we can guarantee the same outcome over and over and over again.
Amen.
Exactly. All right. Number 7, lessons we've learned from bad customers. Never let customers call the shots and never, ever lose your expert status. Okay? So they've hired you for a reason.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
They've acknowledged the fact that you are the expert in this situation, in this deal. That's why they've hired you, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to lose that expert status. So now if all of a sudden they come in and try to change something, or they bring in a second party, a third party, another person from the marketing team or some other team, and they start trying to take control of the process, right? Then all of a sudden you're going to lose that expert status. As soon as you lose that expert status, that's it. You're done.
You're done.
Right?
Yeah.
Because there's
Then
no
you're-
reason. If they don't view you as the expert, why are they hiring you? You're going to be an order taker at that point.
You're just a tool at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then if you're a tool and you're an order taker, you can't follow your process, which means you can't guarantee an outcome.
Exactly.
Right?
Which means veer off the road again.
Dude, I have told customers before, when shit like this happens, it's like, look, you hired us because we're the experts. If you don't feel we're the experts, there's no reason for us to be here. And I can give you to somebody else who'll just do whatever you want. You should see how fast they cower, because they're like, holy shit, they're right. I don't know all the answers.
I can't do this on my own.
Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely fucking true. You need to make sure you speak from experience, not from, your personal opinion, right? You want to make sure that the logic you use to inform them of the decisions you made, well, it's based on logic. It's not based on how you feel and just like, I saw something else.
Be this.
Yes. Right? You're the expert in this case, right? So again, make sure you keep that status, because if you lose that status at any point during a project, you're done.
boned.
You're done with that customer, and you know what? They won't
They're
respect
done with
you
you.
and see you. Exactly. All right. Lessons learned from bad customers. Number 8. Always, always, always limit changes and revisions.
Woo!
Right? So this is scope creep is the evil monster in our industry. Everybody hates scope creep. It's such a creep. Honestly, but the thing is, it's always like, you always have the best intentions with it, right? The path to hell is paved in good intentions. Okay, you don't mean to give yourself this whole miserable experience because you only wanted to make them happy.
Yeah, you want to do the right thing.
But man, does that screw you up. Honestly, it's... when it comes to changes and stuff, right? If customers view revisions and changes as a buffet, they're going to come back for more and more and more. It's true, right?
Yeah,
and
totally.
they won't respect the revision cycles.
They
won't actually, they'll be a lot more careless about it, right? If you let them know, listen, you know what? In order to keep our time frame, in order to keep our, our process in line and make sure that, we're at a good place at the end, we need to limit changes to 3 rounds of revisions. Absolutely, it has to be, right? Like, honestly, it's like, if you let them go up to the bar every time and come back with more and more plates, and they're not even finishing the plates, they're just tossing them aside and getting more shit, right? They're gonna lose respect for you.
Totally.
They're not gonna take what they're doing seriously. They're gonna be like, oh, by the way, I saw something. Can you change this? And then like 2 hours later, 3 hours, oh, change it back. I didn't like it, and it will get that stupid. Like again, we had this. and it breaks my heart. We had this web design project, and it was a perfect customer for us that we tried for years, right? We got to the 2/3 stage, okay? Customer loved it. Everybody was happy. The salespeople were happy, right? And they hired a new marketing person, okay? And she was going to take it to the finish line.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yep.
And she's somebody that we thought we wanted to work with prior to this. We're like, wow, that's actually really cool. We get to work with her. She's got a lot of experience, this, that.
Yeah.
Well, she just started taking a bite off this. And it just, basically, our project was like, it was at the finish line. We could see it. And she kept on nibbling, taking bites everywhere off the project. Within 3 months, the project was completely side-railed. It derailed completely. Didn't even finish the website.
Are you serious?
And it was so fucking hard. And it was the same idea, right? And again, it was in good intentions. It was like, yeah, sure, we'll do this one thing, because again, it's like we wanted to work with this girl, right? She had experience in the space,
reputable kind of person too.
We thought,
okay,
but then after the fact, it just seemed like. It seemed like she had a little bit of a track record doing this over and over. She was like that seagull manager.
Yeah.
Come in, shit all over everybody, and then fucking fly away, right? And honestly, it was the worst experience because we didn't hold true. We weren't like, no, if you want one set of changes, fine. Tell us what it is. We'll do them all at once. Yeah. And then we have to plan on a launch strategy. No. And I mean, again, we meant it from a good place.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
We were trying to be accommodating. We're trying to be nice, right? We're like, well, we don't want to be too much of a heart. But again, this was early on.
Yeah.
That wouldn't happen now.
Yeah.
We wouldn't let that happen now.
Yes.
We'd be like, look, you know what? If you want to make some changes, go through the whole site once.
Yeah.
We'll make the changes. And then we got to plan a launch strategy.
Yeah.
Right? Plain and simple.
Yeah.
No accountability. That one sucked, man.
That's
that one really sucked.
That's too bad.
So with that being said, lessons we learned from bad clients. Number 9, batch all your changes in one place.
Yeah.
So again, this is in line with that exact same thing that we had before, right? The exact same problem. But what we're saying is we make sure we tell people straight out 100%, right? We need all the changes digitally, one place.
Yeah.
Okay. We won't accept changes from a phone call. We won't accept changes. If they want to email one day and then the next day send you a
PDF
marked up PDF
Yeah, exactly.
and then do something else. No. And I mean, it's like what we're trying to do is making sure that they don't actually piecemeal us all the revisions and changes, right? We ask them, right, to bring all the changes together into one document, okay? Whether it's an email, whether it's a Word doc, whether it is a PDF,
Right.
we don't want to accept, number one, we never accept verbal changes. They can call and talk us through.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
But then I want you to email that to me.
Yes.
I want you to put it in your words,
Yes.
okay, and send that to me. And it sounds like being a hard ass, but honestly, it's like when you start piecemealing all the changes from all these different mediums and sources, man, they won't even be able to keep track of this shit,
Exactly.
right? And it's just going to go over and over and over, right? And then again, to do that, it's hard, and it really blurs that line to 3 sets of revisions.
Exactly.
We tell customers 3 sets of revisions. So it's in your best interest to bring all those revisions, put them all together, take them seriously, and we'll do one full batch of revisions, right? Don't fuck around, take them seriously. And then you can let them know that we need it done this way. Because again, if you bring together all your changes and provide them to us in one document, okay, it helps hit their deadline, right?
Yeah.
It keeps their costs down
Yeah.
because then we're opening up a project and we're working straight to get the changes done.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Like honestly, and I mean
Exactly.
it's such a game changer versus. But again, it's like nonetheless it happens. Sometimes we'll start on revisions and then they'll email us and be like, hey, can you also do this? So it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Save that because we're already working on this one. It's closed. Like the revisions are closed because we're working on it. And you have to let them know it's part of the process.
Yes. But Steve from marketing hasn't seen this.
Yeah. Oh, damn that, Steve.
It's like, fuck, well, why wasn't Steve involved in this in the first place?
It's so true.
Jesus.
Right? Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff where it's like, okay, I'm doing all these changes, and then now I'm going to push it up to my boss. Like, oh my God, why wouldn't you just push it up to your boss now?
Right from the beginning, right? But then you remind them, hey, 3 sets of revisions.
Exactly.
I don't care if it's you and your boss, your boss and his wife or kid or whatever. No, it doesn't work like that.
Guy? Yeah.
It's like pull that shit together, and it's your responsibility to get us all the revisions for that revision set. And it sounds like being a hard ass, but again, be polite and remind them it's to their benefit to provide us all the revisions at once so they can get a bigger picture at the next set when you present it back to them.
Yes.
All right?
Nice.
Number 10, okay? Always, always, always put things in writing, Okay,
Gold. That's
always,
gold.
always, and not just contracts, because everybody thinks, a contract is important.
Yeah.
No. Again, we just talked about revisions.
Revisions.
Okay,
Yeah.
always put them in writing. One thing I've learned about customers is they have short-term memory when it works against them, but they have fucking photographic memory when it
Yes.
serves them. They're like, oh no, I'm sure I said this. I'm sure I said this.
No, this was I said this. I'm positive. Wait, right here it says.
Dude, again, all revision requests,
Yeah.
any sort of request, absolutely make sure there's a hard copy, right?
Yes.
Make sure it's there. Outline meeting recaps and actionable items. You know what? It sounds like it's a pain in the ass sometimes. I'm not going to lie, but it's like if you have a meeting, with a customer, send them an email within 5 minutes. Be like, hey, we talked about this, and we said we're doing this.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
Yes, let us know.
Okay, let us know.
Yeah.
I think this was the gist of it, right?
Yeah.
But again, put everything in writing. Don't just go by memory, right? And again, even if you jot it down in your own notes, they have to approve that shit. They absolutely do. They need to see it. They need to absolutely see it, and they have to approve it. Because again, honestly, their memory is fleeting. Okay, when it's like, no. Oh, dude, it's so true.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Unless it's that guy in the email that you were talking about at the beginning of the show.
Right?
He was right in his
Right?
face. There it was.
It was
Monday.
right.
Hello.
See? And this works out perfectly for our next one.
Yes.
Number 11, never ever delete emails, contracts, or proposals. So again,
shit.
I could have deleted his email.
Yeah.
I could have, deleted, I
Just
signed
been
whatever,
done.
right?
Then
No.
you'd be boned.
I had the record of
Yeah.
it, right? Cover your ass.
Oh.
Always, right? Honestly, there's no
Right.
reason why you have to worry about space anymore when it comes to emails. Okay?
true.
Like, I mean, whether you're Google, whether you're using Outlook with a cloud storage program, you could have terabytes of emails, and you should.
Yes.
Because honestly, there's so many times that searching for something that was in last year's email or 2 years ago or 2 weeks ago or a giant thread has come in handy. Okay? We don't delete that shit anymore. Right? Like, honestly, it's like we don't. It's pretty scary because it's happened before and we've been caught with it before.
Yes.
But like it's literally for the past 10 years, that's when we went to cloud. That's when we switched over to Google like years ago.
Yeah.
Before Google was even a thing for businesses, right? And it was a huge game saver.
Yeah.
Right. It really was, right?
Yeah.
Signed contracts are in there, right? Everything is in there. We make sure that we put the subject lines very clear so customers know.
So you
And then
know
if we ever
exactly
have
what
to
it is.
find them,
Yeah.
it's easy to bring up.
Yep.
Dude, that has saved our ass so much.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Just like that dude. I mean, dude, again, I was just like, dude, read the fucking thread
I
beneath
hear.
this.
I sent it Monday. There it is.
There
right
it is.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
nothing makes you feel
nothing.
better when you're like,
when
if
you
you
got
see
that, you just-
below
Yeah.
Monday at 3:04, I replied to your email asking this.
Yes.
Did
Where
you
were
not get it?
Did you?
Because here's the thread that we're looking at. Dude.
Look here.
So pissed.
Yeah, douchebag.
Yeah, right. So with that being said, this leads into number 12. Okay. And number 12 is hold your ground. Okay. Even when you're pressured.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a tough one.
It is. Customers will always, you'll get bully customers.
You're gonna,
Whether they're being a complete dick or they're just covering their ass, okay, you will get customers that will try to push you around and make you second guess yourself.
Yeah.
This is such a huge trickle effect. You start second guessing yourself, you now lose your expert status. If you lose your expert status, then all of a sudden your process is out the window.
Yeah,
Okay, like this is a huge trickle effect. Don't you outlined your process.
Yeah.
You stick to that damn thing, right? No matter what they're doing, if they want to change things, move things around, or make you, do things without getting paid. No, you have to stand your ground because this isn't a one-time, once in, once out gig, right? Either you're working for this customer in hopes for a future, commitment, future work from them, right?
Yeah.
Like or nothing, or what do you have to lose at that point?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like literally, what do you have to lose? And that's my attitude,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We've kept customers for 20 plus years because again, we mean what we say, we say what we mean, right? And we make sure we always deliver. And again, there comes points where you have to hold your ground when you're pressured. This happens sometimes when people come in after the fact in a process, like that girl came in at the 11th hour and made those changes.
And then all of a sudden, boom, you're back at square one. Like
Exactly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or they put pressure on you, or then they're like, honestly, it's so easy to get bullied and to get pressured, and they give you the guilt trip and stuff like that, but you just can't give in, because then you start losing your status. You can't have that. Absolutely have that.
Exactly.
Okay, so hold your ground even when pressured.
Yeah. And see, and then we have a client that's like that. He's like, his hair's on fire every time he talks to us. And it's like, the last 3 jobs that I've done for him, he's been making changes almost like a week past his ultimate drop dead deadline.
Right?
Yeah. And it's like,
I need you to do it. I mean, again, I had a customer who was like, I anticipate there might be some changes while you're away on your shutdown. Is there anybody available that I could reach out to? It was like, I recommend all the changes be in by the Thursday before we leave.
Yes.
So we can get it to you by Friday.
There you go.
And that was it. I was not being, I don't care.
Yeah.
They haven't left.
Yeah.
I sometimes wish they would, but they haven't left. And they will. If you honestly let them push you around, they will own you.
That is a great example of, we have pushed back hard on that client.
Of course.
And they have almost like a dog
cowers back.
Like, okay, we'll try and.
But let me tell you, at the beginning of that relationship, I would give a little, and what happened?
Yes,
that they would get me on the weekend.
You're on the horn to them on the weekend. Yes.
So then it was just like, you know what? No more. Done. And I mean, now it's to the point where it's like, no, we can't do that. Yeah. Sorry. So I recommend you get it. No, nobody's available.
Yes.
There's no such thing as a marketing emergency.
And that's the thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you use? Is it a heart attack or something like that? Yeah. Right. Then maybe yes.
Exactly.
But a marketing emergency? Yeah. Come on. Give me a break. But I think that with that client too, they smell the blood in the water. They know They know they're in trouble, so they're kind of tender, tiptoeing around us.
It's so true. It's so true.
So you do really have a lot of power in this kind
Absolutely.
of scenario. Yeah.
Once you get that expert status, once they know you know your shit, you know their space, you can deliver, and that they're getting like high fives and applauses on their end for doing a good job, you reclaim back a lot of power in that situation.
Totally, yeah.
So don't underestimate. Don't let that, honestly, I hate bullies in general. I hate bullies.
I'm with you on that
especially one. In this, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. So you know what? Hold your ground no matter what, and don't give in.
Beautiful.
Number 13, and this is a big one. This is a touchy subject, right? So never, ever, ever hand over native files, or working files to clients before getting completely paid on a project. This isn't just working files and just your Illustrator and your InDesign, okay?
Right.
But this also includes FTP access, handing them over the keys to their website, or giving them their control so they can take the DNS from you and just kind of move that somewhere else.
Yeah. Then you're boned.
Then you're boned. If all of a sudden it's like you now are locked out of that FTP site. You cannot hand over those files until you've received 100% of the payment. And this has screwed us. Dude, I once handed them over to a family friend, okay? Somebody who was so trustworthy, so it seemed, right? And it was somebody who was just like, no, they would never screw. They would never, oh my God, never in a million years. Yeah, they took those files and they're like, you know what? I'm only doing this because it's much easier for me to get them translated this way. And don't worry, you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid. Yeah, I'm still out like 12 grand. Oh. And that was years ago, and that was unfortunately the last time I'm ever going to do work for friends or family or anything like that.
Wow.
But it's true, right? I took them for their word. I should have, but I was like, no, not even I didn't even think they would do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And but again, had I waited out, to get paid, then I don't care. They could have done whatever the hell they did. But as soon as they got their hands on that file, I couldn't do anything. Yeah, right? We had that with websites. Back in the day when it was just HTML websites, we'd zip them, we'd package them, send them over.
Yeah.
Well, they don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
They had all the files back in the day. They could upload them to, their own server. They upload them to GoDaddy. You would never need it again. And we never were able to collect.
Yeah.
So you lose your leverage if you hand things over. So, my recommendation, never, ever, ever hand over the keys to the car. Never, ever give them, FTP access, hand over, blind, like CMS access and native working files until you're paid. Because you know what? That money's good as gone, unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one good thing about the web revolution. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're hosting and doing all that stuff for them, which 9 times out of 10, I think most people would do that, right? So then you have complete control over how that website goes down, right?
That's the nice thing about hosting a website, and we do put that in the bottom of all of our invoices. Hey guys, here's a good little tip. Here's a little tip. On the bottom of all your invoices, put down unpaid unpaid invoices past 45 days could result in the suspension of your website. And many times when customers have pushed it past the line and they start ghosting us, we just tap their website, it goes down, and they're like, hey, our website is down. Can you fix it? Oh, by the way, I was just about to send you a check. Dude, it has saved us so many times. It's so many times. And even right now with those customers, there's money outstanding, but we have their websites.
We have their websites.
And that's why I'm not worried. Because again, they value their business. I'm sure they're not going anywhere, and we still own control of their website. So they're gonna pay up.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I'm not overly freaking right now. So that was a freebie. Enjoy that one. Number 14. Okay. Lessons learned. No, this one isn't even a bad client situation, but a client is a client. It's not a friend.
Yeah.
Okay. And that sometimes sucks to say.
I know. This one I had a tough one with.
Yeah. No. And again, it's again, don't fool yourself for with good customer and friend.
Yeah.
Because as long as there is an exchange of money for service, they will always be a customer. Because again, they will always have to cover their ass.
Yes.
They will always be moving forward in their career, right?
Yep.
And it's not to say that they will screw you over, because we got some awesome customers. And I mean, we're friendly with them. We know what's going on. We know that they're having a baby in September, and that we're going to send a big care package. And we're not saying you can't be super crazy friendly.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a line that you can't cross.
Right.
You can't go onto their Facebook and post on how great their kid is doing and look at their kid on this. And you can't be like, hey, you know what? You want to go for a beer Friday night and just chat?
Yeah.
And hang out and be friends? There's a line there that can't be crossed.
Yes.
Okay. And you can't have both. You can't be like, no. I need friend privileges from being a client.
Yes.
Or I need you to get my shit done, because hey, we're not just friends here. I'm still your client, don't forget, right? And I need you to get shit done. Like there's that blurry, and you can't really have both.
Yes.
And it sucks. I've had to have that conversation with the customer before, and it was kind of creepy because they wanted to keep hanging out. And I mean, it was because we accidentally ended up at the same place one night, and it was a good night, and But again, it was like, okay, we shouldn't have done that. Yeah. The next morning you felt dirty and you walked away from it. But it's true, because then all of a sudden it's like they want friend privileges as a customer, or they wanted customer privileges as a friend. And those lines get blurred too easy,
really
right?
Good, yeah.
It's sad, but it's true. Yeah. And you know what you don't want is you don't want people to be calling you in a weekend and be like, hey, I got a great idea. I want to pitch on Monday morning. Come on, man. We're friends. Help me out.
Dude, can you work on Sunday?
And that shit does happen, dude.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is kind of sad. Yeah. That totally makes sense now, because, I was thinking that with some of the clients that we had, we would go down to their yearly function and and really enjoy hanging out with these people.
And you absolutely
great, but
can.
it was a work function.
Yes.
And that was what it was, right? So
they're
friends within the work.
Yeah.
But they are, but you're right. It's absolutely, if there's money exchange going down, that's a client situation.
There's a client situation. There's a responsibility one way or the other. You don't want to cross that line.
And you don't want to be taken advantage of.
Absolutely, right?
On the flip side.
On the flip side, exactly.
Yeah.
So again, that one's not a bad, because that's not about deadbeat clients. Those are generally the best clients that you want to be friends with, but you shouldn't be friends with. All right?
Just remember,
all right.
This was a big reveal for the front.
Last but not least, lessons learned from 25 years of bad clients. Okay? Always listen to your inner voice. Okay? Okay, honestly, we are designers. We have this extra special spidey sense, a designy sense. Okay? And again, good designers, we're empaths. We're empathetic. We can feel much deeper. And in talking to customers and asking the questions we do, because we're supposed to ask deep questions, get to the root of problems, we should be able to suss out some sort of feelings on the job, on the person, on the company. If something doesn't feel right, it usually isn't. And that customer that I was complaining about, that driving me nuts, and fucking didn't, apologize, whatever.
For the Monday,
In January, when we got his job, I said something. I said it in here. I was like, I don't feel right about this, right? I was like, I think I'm going to regret this. But I took the job anyway because, again, this client was somebody who is, substantial in the space, who's like an expert in their industry and could have opened up some doors. And honestly, it's been a nightmare ever since. It's been a nightmare. And had I listened to that spidey sense, and that spidey sense, it came off initially when we started talking, then during the contractual stage, and I'm like, wow, like this guy's being pretty fucking picky about some things here, right? Like why? But you know what? I should have listened to my spidey sense.
Your designy sense.
My designy sense.
I love that.
Honestly. And that should be, and again, best for last, but it should be first in this whole process.
Agreed.
When sussing out customers, you should be able to pick up on all these little cues based on experience. And no matter how hard it is, you need to pay attention to this. Whether you listen or not, you might need to get burned. Hey, after 25 fucking years, I got burned this year with it. I did get burned.
And this is almost like a rite of passage for us too, right? Like sometimes you don't know, sometimes you're really hungry. You know what I mean? Like, so it's really hard to be a judge of that. But as you get older and we get to this spot that we're at now, you can kind of pick through that things. And I'm surprised you went with that, even though you knew in your head that there was something wrong, which is really...
I know, and I knew better.
Yeah.
And I know I knew better. And again, it was one of those, I really wanted it for the person, not for the job.
Yes.
And it was just, in the end, it's just, this job can't be, again, I was willing to walk away from like a giant, seriously, but it's just like, no, gotta finish it.
Do it.
Gotta do what's right.
Yeah.
Brought in some other people to help me out on this one because it's just like, I can only handle so much. And, but again, it still happens.
Yeah.
And again, and I'm guilty of it. So that was my big mistake of this year.
Yeah. But the best part is you didn't cut and run. You stuck with it too. Also, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
You make a commitment. This is what we expect of clients. We will do that to them.
Exactly,
right?
But I accepted it. I have to finish it. Yeah.
Which hurts. But
I know, it hurts. It hurts so bad. All right. So 15 lessons learned from Blad clients. All right. When you meet a customer to discuss the job, don't assume they get it, number one. Number two, never, ever, ever discount your price. Number three, don't start work at all until you receive a deposit. Number four, don't start any job without all your questions answered and without all the pieces to the project. Number five, create a process, explain that process, and stick to that process.
Yes. Multiple times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number six, remind them of that process.
Oh, there you go.
During the presentation. That's okay, buddy. I had you covered. I knew you were going there. Number seven, never, ever, ever let customers call the shots to lose you as your expert status.
Right.
Okay, you never want to lose your expert status.
Never.
Number eight, always limit changes, revisions, okay, to prevent scope creep. Number nine, ask to have all revisions, all changes batched in a single document.
Beautiful.
Okay. Number 10, always put things in writing, not just contracts. All right. Number 11, never, ever, ever delete emails, contracts, proposals. Keep that shit forever as long as you're in business.
That's key.
Okay. Number 12, hold your ground, even when you're pressured. Don't give in to fucking bullies. Number 13, never, ever, ever hand over native files or working files or the keys to that website without getting all of your payment.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't even consider that. Number 14, a client is a client. They're not a friend.
That's right.
Doesn't mean you can't be friendly. Doesn't mean you can't love them as a person. But remember, as long as there's an exchange of money for service, they are a client. And last but not least, always listen to your inner voice, your designy sense.
Your designy sense.
My designy sense is tingling.
Lest you end up like that meme where the two Spider-Mans are fighting each other.
Yeah, we just actually posted that meme, sadly.
Oh, yeah.
This would have been better for that one, though, unfortunately. Should have saved it. Hindsight.
Yes. Oh, that was really good.
Well, this is legitimate shit that we have learned, and we've learned, unfortunately, from being beaten down over.
From experience, sadly.
1, 2, 3, 5 bad customer experiences. But I mean, there's been a shitload of experiences over the past 25 years.
This is true.
I'm fucking the last person to say it's always been smooth. It's been perfect. It's not. Dude, I accepted a job this year. I really shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to my designy sense and I got, fucked over for it.
So it
really.
still happens. It still happens.
You know what? We're still human.
Yeah.
We're still designers.
Exactly.
And sometimes our passion,
Yeah.
our
Yes.
want, our desire for a project, for a cool opportunity, sometimes takes over our better judgment.
Totally. But that hunger for what this is
true,
what we
dude.
do. This
It's
is
true.
That's the interesting part of this,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Is
true.
You see a client where you're just like, "Fuck, this could be really good."
Absolutely,
you
it could, right?
really want it to work.
You
and-
really want that shit to work. Damn it.
But yeah, that's awesome. Those are
I hope
great-
so.
great
Anyway,
tips.
again,
Yeah.
it's just like, hey, this is what we've gone through.
Yeah.
Let's make this list from 15 to 30. Please, by all means, drop us a line on our Instagram. Give us some points, some of these other things that we're missing on this top 15 list. Please let us know what your experiences are. Drop us on our website.
Yeah.
Right. And, share those experiences with us. I mean, I think, the whole point of this is that we want to grow with our listeners. We want to grow with our angry designers.
Yeah,
and
this is
kind of
collaborative.
share. I mean, again, there's no holds barred.
No.
This isn't perfect.
No.
Right? We've managed to somehow make it after 25 years. And sadly, we've had a lot of battle wounds to show for it. So,
But would you trade it for anything else?
fucking not a single thing,
There you
dude.
go.
Not a fucking single thing. Absolutely. I
that's the
love what I
shit.
do,
Yes.
and I'm still planning on doing it for another 25 plus
There
years.
you go.
I'm not going anywhere. This has been a hell of a hard road, but I mean, again,
Yeah.
I can just imagine what that road would be like if I took some sort of fucking accounting job or an operations job.
I couldn't. The world without you as a designer would not be good.
What is it?
You sitting at a desk just punching.
Can you
numbers?
imagine?
Oh,
dude.
you would die.
Couldn't handle that. Seriously, I really, 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 really couldn't. And I mean, I was so stubborn. Even when I was told I wouldn't make it as a designer, I was like, I'll fucking
Fuck
show
you,
you.
I will, yeah.
I'm gonna do it. Kick to the nuts. And again, and you know what? And I learned the other side of the business and continuing on. No, like, I mean, there's no other, this is still, even though I've gone through all this shit personally, and I'm sure you have too, it doesn't taint my love for the industry because this is the best fucking industry, the best job, the best career you could possibly have because it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
Okay, going through this crap might kind of, reminds you that it's still a job at times.
Yeah,
but
it is. But it's good to be aware of these things.
Exactly.
But it's not like you're, like it's constantly bothering
No,
you. This stuff,
not at
right?
all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just these are the the roadblocks along the way that you can avoid. Totally.
Absolutely. And that's exactly it. We're, learn from our mistakes, take some of this, apply it to yourself.
Exactly.
Honestly, I hope this information works.
Number 15, especially.
Dude,
that's
always
the key.
listen to your spidey
yes,
sense.
exactly.
Yeah.
The designy sense. That's a crucial one because if you could tell in the beginning of that interview or that briefing period,
Totally.
And you're not getting the good sense of it, it's not going to get any better.
Absolutely,
from there, right?
dude.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, it's like we are business superheroes and we have the ability to change outcomes for businesses.
Yes.
And it's true.
Yeah.
If you listen deeply, and this will be a future podcast, but if you listen deeply and you can suss out companies' problems, which we've done, we have changed outcomes for companies. Not once, not twice, many times. And that's what keeps me in this space because there's nothing better than after a year of launching a new website or helping somebody with a rebrand, they come back to you and they're like, our business has never been better.
Yeah.
Everything's changed. Our new brand has changed. Our website's getting us leads. Everybody's like, rallying around the same vision, mission statement, the brand statement. Like, that feels so empowering.
That's really
cool. Honestly,
yeah,
that's really fucking cool.
That's the reason we do it.
That is the reason why we do it. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. If you liked what you heard, please, by all means, give us a high five. Give us a great review on your favorite podcast station or wherever you listen to podcasts. Drop us a line on our website and hit us up on our Instagram. And we are also on YouTube. You don't want to neglect yourself of looking at these awesome chiseled behemoths of I don't even know, dude.
Beardy goodness.
Beardy goodness. Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
That sounds weird. On that note, my name's Massimo.
My name's Josh.
Stay creative
And stay angry.
Peace.